Chosen one. It's too hot for words right now. Something's shifting fast, and it's going down in ways no one saw coming. The universe has been rearranging itself in your favor, and the people who tried to block your path are starting to feel the burn. You've passed every test, the heartbreaks, betrayals, silent battles, and now the glow-up is igniting. Someone thought they had control, but what they didn't realize is that divine timing can't be manipulated. Right now, everything you've been waiting for is sliding into place with unstoppable force. You'll feel it, the surge, the freedom, the breakthrough moment. It's too hot for words because destiny's on fire, and this time you're the spark. Let's talk about the two ringleaders you're dealing with right now. Two distinct sources of attack. One you probably suspected, one you had no idea about. And both of them are about to be exposed in ways that will validate everything your intuition has been screaming at you. The first one is someone who's been openly difficult, maybe a terrible boss, maybe a toxic parent, maybe a sibling who's always competed with you. You've had your guard up with this person for a while. You knew this person was messy. You knew this person stirred up drama. What you didn't know was how deep it went, how much talking has been happening behind your back, how obsessed this person has been with dimming your light. The second one is going to shock you. This is the friend, the acquaintance, the co-worker you didn't really suspect. This is the person who smiled in your face while loading rocks into your backpack. This is the one who's been harvesting your beauty, your youth, your energy, while pretending to care about you. And when this one gets revealed, you're going to have that moment of clarity. That's why exhaustion appeared around this person. That's why breakouts started happening. That's why relationship problems emerged out of nowhere. That's why everything felt heavy. Both of these people have been spreading false information about you, twisting stories, embellishing situations, straight up lying to mutual connections. And the assumption was that you'd never find out. The assumption was that narrative control was secure. The assumption was that leverage existed. You're going to get information, maybe through a phone call, maybe through a conversation, maybe through your own intuition, finally connecting all the dots. And when that information lands, everything is going to make sense. All those weird feelings you couldn't explain. All those intuitive hits you second-guessed. All those moments when something felt off but you couldn't prove it. You're about to get your proof, and I need you to understand something. When you get that confirmation, you're not going to fall apart. You're not going to cry for weeks. You're not going to question yourself. You're going to feel this surge of clarity, this rush of validation, this sense of knowing you were right all along, and then you're going to act. During your recent past, the devil studied you, learned your patterns, figured out exactly what would keep you trapped in toxic situations, and the devil presented you with a choice: stay in the familiar discomfort or risk the unknown. Maybe it was a relationship that felt like love but was really a prison. Maybe it was a job that paid well but cost you your peace. Maybe it was a friend who was always there but slowly poisoned you. Whatever it was, the devil knew your price. The devil knew you were afraid of being alone, or broke, or starting over, and the devil dangled that fear in front of you like bait. But you did something the devil didn't expect. You walked away anyway, even though your hands were shaking, even though you had no backup plan, even though everyone thought you were crazy. You chose yourself. You chose peace over familiarity. You chose God's plan over the devil's playground. That was your boot camp. That was your training. And you passed. But more importantly, you learned something crucial. You learned that the devil's bait is always fake. The thing you thought you couldn't live without, you're living without it. The person you thought was irreplaceable, replacement happened. The opportunity you thought was once in a lifetime, better ones showed up. So this season, when these two ringleaders try to play the same game, when attempts are made to convince you that you need them, when efforts are made to persuade you that cutting them off will cost you everything, you're going to laugh, because you've been here before. You know how this story ends. You walk away and God upgrades your entire life. These people don't know you've evolved. The assumption is that you're still the person from your recent past who struggled with the decision. The assumption is that leverage still exists. The assumption is that you're going to hesitate. Discovery of how wrong these assumptions are is coming soon. While you've been minding your own business, going through your spiritual cleanse, working on yourself, these people have been actively trying to steal from you. Not just your energy, not just your peace. Attempts have been made to harvest specific things about you that trigger jealousy. Attempts have been made to steal your relationships. If you're in love, the desire is for you to be single. If you're happy, the desire is for you to be miserable. Negative energy has been sent toward your partnerships, maybe even literal spell work. And you've felt it, the unexplained arguments, the sudden doubts, the distance that appeared out of nowhere. Attempts have been made to steal your opportunities, your creativity, your ideas, your voice. Every time you're about to level up, something weird happens. A project falls through, a connection goes cold, an opportunity vanishes, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Someone has been working against you in the spiritual realm, and all of this has been happening while trauma bonding was being created, while you were being made to think you needed these people, while positioning was happening to make these people seem indispensable in your life. Because if attachment can be maintained, draining can continue. If dependence can be created, stealing can persist. You started noticing. You started paying attention. You started checking the vibe when you were around these people, and the vibe was off. The vibe was heavy. The vibe was draining. So you started protecting yourself, pulling back, sharing less, creating boundaries, and that's when panic set in. That's when desperation appeared. That's when mistakes started being made. Because energy vampires can't survive when you cut off the supply. Your light is needed for these people to function. Your essence is needed for these people to feel alive. Your success is needed for these people to feel relevant. And you're about to permanently shut off access. If this message awakens something within you, hype this video for other chosen ones who need to hear this. Your recent past broke you open. It was supposed to. You had to learn what you were really made of. You had to discover that you could survive without people you thought were essential. You had to prove to yourself that your faith was stronger than your fear, and you did it. You cut off people you loved. You walked away from situations that felt comfortable. You risked everything on a belief that God would catch you, and catching happened every single time. The job you thought you couldn't leave, a better one showed up. The person you thought was your soulmate, your actual match is on the way. The friends you thought you'd be lonely without, your real tribe is assembling. But the process hurt. You cried. You questioned yourself. You had moments of weakness where you almost went back. You sat on that stepping stone, feeling uncomfortable, wanting to rest, not ready to keep moving. That hesitation was normal. You were healing. You were learning. You were building new muscle. This season, you're not on the stepping stone anymore. You're moving with momentum. You're operating from strength, not survival. You're cutting from clarity, not confusion. And that makes you incredibly dangerous to anyone who tries to play games with you. Because now when you sense something is off, you trust it immediately. You don't need months of evidence. You don't need other people to validate your intuition. You don't need to give them multiple chances to prove toxicity exists. You know within days, sometimes hours, and you move accordingly. Now when someone shows you who the person is, you believe it the first time. You're not making excuses for behavior. You're not giving benefit of the doubt. You're not trying to fix or save or give one more chance. You're just out clean, complete, final. That's what makes you dangerous now. You're not attached anymore. You're not codependent. You're not desperate. You're completely willing to stand alone if that's what honoring yourself requires. And people who rely on your attachment to manipulate you suddenly have no leverage. Something is going to happen soon. Information is going to reach you that confirms everything you've been sensing. And when it does, you're going to move so fast these people won't know what hit them. Maybe it's a friend who finally decides to tell you the truth about what was heard. Maybe it's you connecting dots from multiple sources. Maybe it's walking in on a conversation you weren't supposed to hear. Maybe it's your intuition finally getting so loud you can't ignore it anymore. However it comes, it's coming. When you get that information, you're not going to be devastated, you're going to be liberated, because finally it makes sense. Finally you have permission to trust yourself. Finally you can stop wondering if you're being paranoid and start taking action. One of these ringleaders is going to get relocated, not by you, by the universe, by karma, by consequences of their own actions. You're just going to wake up one morning and find out this person is gone, fired, moved, cut off by someone else, exposed by their own behavior. And you're going to breathe this sigh of relief. The other one you're going to handle yourself. You're going to cut this person off so cleanly, so thoroughly, so permanently, that there won't even be time to mount a defense. You're going to block on every platform, delete the number, remove from every aspect of your life, and you're going to do it without explanation, without drama, without giving the closure this person thinks is deserved. One of them might try to cut you off first. Sensing that you're onto them might trigger an attempt to beat you to it. An attempt to scapegoat you might happen, blame you for behavior, act like the victim. And you're going to let this person think winning happened. You're going to let this person believe the last word was secured, because by the time that move is made, you already blocked, you already replaced. You're already 10 steps ahead. You've learned something powerful. You've learned that you don't have to wait for the absolute worst to happen before you protect yourself. You don't have to catch someone in the act. You don't have to have concrete proof. Your intuition is proof enough. Your peace being disturbed is proof enough. Your body breaking out and your energy depleting is proof enough. And here's what makes you too hot to handle right now. You're willing to be wrong about people. You're willing to lose connections that might have been salvageable. You're willing to be called paranoid or dramatic or too sensitive, because you'd rather be safe and alone than sorry and surrounded by snakes. You'd rather protect your peace than prove you were right. You'd rather trust your gut than give someone benefit of doubt that cost you your sanity. This is the frequency that terrifies your enemies. Manipulation can't work on someone who's willing to walk away at the first sign of disrespect. Gaslighting can't work on someone who trusts their own perception more than someone else's explanation. Control can't work on someone who values peace more than any relationship. I'm telling you this now so you're ready, so when it happens, you recognize it, so you don't second-guess yourself, so you move with the confidence of someone who knows exactly what's happening. You're not going to hem and haw. You're not going to write long explanatory texts. You're not going to try to make them understand. You're just going to execute, block, delete, done, and the speed of it is going to shock everyone, including yourself. See, during your recent past you needed closure, you needed to say your piece, you needed them to understand why you were leaving. This season, you understand something crucial. Your peace is not a debate. Your boundaries are not negotiable. Your decision doesn't require approval. So you're going to move in silence. You're going to block on everything before you send any final message. You're going to make sure zero access exists. And then, only if you feel like it, you're going to say what you need to say, not to convince, not to hurt, just to close the loop for yourself. Think about it. When you know you're about to quit, you start job hunting first. When you know a relationship is ending, you start emotionally detaching first. When you know a friendship is toxic, you start building new connections first. You don't just burn bridges and figure it out later. You build the new bridge before you torch the old one. And that's exactly what you've been doing. Maybe you didn't even realize it. Maybe it felt like you were just being cautious or protecting yourself. But what you were actually doing was preparing for this moment, the moment when you'd have to cut these people off. And because you prepared, because you stayed 10 steps ahead, you're ready. Your enemies thought you were trapped. Assumption was made that you needed them. Assumption was made that you were cornered. But you were never trapped. You were just waiting for the right time, waiting for your replacement to show up, waiting for God to give you the green light. And now that you have it, now that everything is aligned, you're moving. You've been watching, learning, understanding that loyalty to yourself comes before loyalty to people who don't respect you. So when your cleaning crew didn't show up, your boss didn't beg them to come back. Your boss didn't give them another chance. Your boss just found someone better, and you've been applying that same energy to your personal life. The minute someone shows you unreliability, you start looking for replacement, and you don't cut them off until you have it secured. That's big boss energy. That's chosen one energy. That's valuing yourself too much to be left hanging energy. And it's exactly what you're operating in right now. There's going to be a moment, probably within days of cutting these people off, when you physically feel the difference, like a weight lifted off your chest that you didn't even realize you were carrying. You're going to wake up one morning and notice your skin looks different, clearer, brighter, the breakouts clearing up almost overnight, the dark circles fading, the exhaustion gone. You're going to look in the mirror and think, oh my God, there I am, I look like myself again. Your energy is going to return, that vitality that was being siphoned, that spark someone was trying to dull. It's going to come flooding back. You're going to feel like working out, creating, laughing, living. All the things that felt like too much effort are suddenly easy again. You're going to start laughing again. Real laughter, the kind that comes from your belly, the kind that makes your whole body shake, the kind that brings tears to your eyes, not the polite chuckle you've been forcing, not the fake smile you've been wearing to keep the peace, genuine joy that bubbles up because your soul is finally free. You're going to have energy for things that matter, for your creative projects, for your loved ones, for your dreams, for yourself. All that energy that was being siphoned into managing toxic people and navigating drama is now available for your actual life. And you're going to be amazed at how much you can accomplish when you're not constantly putting out fires someone else started. You're going to sleep through the night. No more waking up at odd hours with anxiety you can't explain. No more tossing and turning, replaying conversations, trying to figure out what you did wrong. Your nervous system is going to calm down because the threat is gone. The energy vampire has been cut off. Your body can finally rest. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. You're going to start attracting different people, people who match your new frequency, people who value peace like you do, people who protect energy like you do, people who cut off toxicity quickly like you do. Your tribe is about to upgrade along with everything else in your life, and you're going to feel giddy. That's the word that keeps coming through. Giddy. Like a kid on a holiday morning, like someone who just got the best news of their life. You're going to be walking on sunshine. You're going to be so light you might float away. You're going to laugh for no reason except that you finally feel free. People are going to notice the change. Questions are going to come about what you did differently. Comments are going to flow about how good you look, how peaceful you seem, how confident you appear, and you're just going to smile because you know you finally chose yourself, because you know you finally chose yourself. The moment you create space by removing these toxic people, the upgrade shows up, fast, like the universe was just waiting for you to clear the clutter so it could deliver your blessings. You're going to wonder how you tolerated the old situation for so long. You're going to see clearly what you couldn't see before, the toxicity that felt normal, the disrespect you accepted, the crumbs you called a feast. But more than that, you're going to trust yourself moving forward. You're going to know that whenever you have to cut someone off, something better is coming. You're going to stop being afraid of the void. You're going to embrace it as the space where miracles happen. This is the testimony you're building. This is the story you're going to tell other people who are scared to leave. This is the proof that God keeps his promises. You walked away trusting nothing but faith, and you got everything you needed, every time. Now let me tell you something about these upgrades that's going to blow your mind. These upgrades aren't just better. These upgrades are specifically designed for where you're going next. That old connection couldn't have taken you to your next level. Equipment for that journey didn't exist there. Capacity for that journey wasn't there. You would have been held back even if active sabotage wasn't happening. But this new person, this new opportunity, this new situation, it's calibrated for your destiny. It's matched to your frequency. It's aligned with your purpose. This is what's meant for you. This is what you've been making room for. This is why the old had to die, and you're going to see it so clearly. You're going to wonder why you ever thought you needed those other people. You're going to laugh at how scared you were to let go. You're going to shake your head at how much time you wasted trying to make something work that was never meant to be permanent. Some people are seasons, some people are lessons, some people are stepping stones, and trying to make them something more is like trying to live in a hotel. It works for a minute, but it's not home. It was never meant to be home, and the longer you stay, the more uncomfortable it gets. Your real people are coming, your real opportunities are arriving, your real life is beginning, and it looks nothing like what you just walked away from. It's better, so much better, in ways you couldn't have imagined because you've never experienced this level of alignment before. The first ringleader, the one who gets relocated, is going to be confused, wondering why everything suddenly fell apart, why people turned, why karma showed up so fast. Connection to what was done to you won't happen, because people like that never take accountability. But you're going to watch it happen, and know that the universe protects chosen ones. Know that what goes around comes around. Know that you didn't have to lift a finger for justice to be served. The second ringleader, the one you cut off directly, is going to scramble. Attempts to reach out through other people are going to happen. Attempts to explain are going to happen. Playing victim is going to happen. Blaming you is going to happen. Everyone who listens is going to hear that you're the problem, you're the toxic one, you're the crazy one. And you're not going to engage. Not once. You're not going to defend yourself to people who don't matter. You're not going to explain your side to mutual friends. You're not going to get dragged into back and forth. You already said what you needed to say. You already made your move. You're done. What isn't understood is that by trying to make you look bad, self-exposure is happening. People who know you, who really know you, are going to see right through it. People who matter are going to recognize manipulation when they see it. And anyone who believes the lies wasn't your person anyway. Other people in their circle are going to start seeing the truth too, because once one person breaks free and starts thriving, it shows everyone else what's possible. You leaving successfully is going to inspire others to leave too. Your courage is going to give other people permission to choose themselves. So these ringleaders aren't just losing you. Multiple people are about to be lost. Because you were the first domino. You were the one who had the guts to go first. And now that others see it can be done, following your lead is going to happen. The whole toxic dynamic is about to collapse. Not because you destroyed it, because you removed yourself from it. And sometimes that's all it takes. Watch how fast their world unravels once you're gone. Watch how quickly the facade cracks. Watch how thoroughly self-exposure happens when you're no longer there to blame. It's going to be biblical. It's going to be poetic justice. And you're going to witness it all from a safe distance, protected, unbothered, thriving. You're not just saving yourself, you're dismantling an entire toxic ecosystem. You're breaking chains for people who don't even know captivity exists yet. You're creating a blueprint for others to follow. And that's why your breakthrough matters so much. It's not just about you, it's about everyone watching. Something else is happening right now that these ringleaders don't see coming. Your voice is amplifying, your platform is growing, your influence is expanding, and it's happening because you chose integrity over convenience. See, when chosen ones stand up for themselves, when refusal to be silenced happens, when people who try to dim your light get cut off, the universe rewards that. Your audience grows, your message reaches further, your impact deepens. You're about to lead an army of earth angels who've been beaten down and counted out, an army of late bloomers who thought their window closed, an army of light workers who are just now discovering power. And you're going to lead them not from a place of having it all figured out, but from a place of transparency about your journey. Your testimony matters, your story matters. The fact that you survived matters, and when you share it, people are going to recognize themselves in it. Your courage is going to help them find their own. Your transformation is going to help them believe theirs is possible. This is why the boot camp had to be so intense. This is why you had to go through everything you went through, because you can't lead people out of a pit you've never been in. You can't teach people to cut off toxic relationships if you've never done it yourself. You can't preach about faith if you've never had to exercise it when everything looked hopeless. But you did it, you went through it, you survived it, you learned from it. And now you get to help others do the same. That's the calling, that's the anointing, that's the purpose behind all the pain. And your enemies hate it. Watching you rise is torture for them. Seeing you inspire others is painful for them. Knowing that attempts to destroy you only made your testimony more powerful is devastating for them. But there's nothing that can be done about it, because this isn't about you anymore. This is about everyone you're going to help, and hell itself can't stop that. Let me tell you what else is about to amplify. Your discernment, your ability to spot toxic people faster, your capacity to trust your gut immediately, your willingness to walk away at the first red flag instead of the 50th. You're not going to give people months to show you who they are anymore. You're going to know within weeks, sometimes days, and that's going to protect you in ways you can't even imagine yet. You're going to avoid situations that would have destroyed the old version of you. You're going to sidestep traps that would have caught you before. You're going to see manipulation coming from a mile away and simply step to the side. This is the gift that comes from surviving what you survived. You become untouchable, not because nothing can reach you, but because you can see it coming and move before it lands. You become too hot to handle because you're no longer an easy target. You're alert, you're aware, you're prepared. And when new people come into your life, the difference is going to be felt. Sensing that you're not someone who tolerates disrespect is going to happen. Understanding that you value your peace more than anyone's presence is going to be clear. Knowing that access to you is a privilege, not a right, is going to be understood, and the right people will respect that. The wrong people will eliminate themselves. You understand that the weightlifting isn't just random, it's strategic, it's divine timing. It's the result of you finally cutting off what was draining you and making space for what's meant to bless you. You understand that the ringleaders didn't win. Self-exposure happened. Access to your light got lost. True nature got revealed. And in doing so, freedom came for you to step into your next level. You understand that the boot camp from your recent past prepared you for this moment. That test where you had to choose yourself over comfort taught you everything you needed to know. So this season, when the choice came again, you didn't hesitate. You moved with the ferocity of someone who remembers what happened the last time you trusted God over fear. You understand that the devil's bait is always a lie. that the thing dangled in front of you to keep you stuck is never as good as what God has waiting for you on the other side of obedience. You understand that your intuition is valid, that staying 20 steps ahead isn't paranoia, it's discernment, that when something feels off, it is off, period. The sun is coming out, after all those dark nights, after all that confusion, after all those attacks. The sun is finally breaking through, and you're standing in it, laughing, free, lighter than you've been in forever. You wake up in the morning and you're not dreading the day. You're not anxious about who you'll have to deal with. You're not preparing yourself emotionally for drama. You just wake up peaceful, ready, excited about what's ahead. You sleep deeply. Your dreams are peaceful. Your body releases tension you've been holding for months. Your nervous system finally feels safe, and you wake up restored, recharged, ready to conquer whatever the day brings, and it's going down, not you, them. Everything built on lies is collapsing. Everything stolen is being returned. Everything someone tried to destroy is flourishing. Anger was desired, so you'd make mistakes. Hurt was desired, so you'd stay small. Focus on them was desired, so you'd miss your blessings. Instead, you're indifferent. You've moved on, you're thriving, and that indifference is more damaging to them than any revenge you could have planned. This is your moment, your breakthrough, your testimony, and years from now you're going to look back on this time and thank God for every single person who betrayed you, because betrayal pushed you into your destiny, attack activated your anointing, jealousy proved your value, so claim it back. Say it out loud, with harm to none. I call back my power, my beauty, and youthful looks that were stolen or used against me. May all return cleansed, free from negativity and ill will. From this day forward, anyone that attempts to steal my beauty or stab me in the back, my beauty just intensifies times 1,000. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. From this moment forward, anyone who tries what those ringleaders tried is going to fail spectacularly, because you're covered now, you're protected now, you're operating at a frequency where those attacks can't reach you anymore. Attempts will happen. Attempts will always happen. But sticking won't happen. Bouncing right off will happen, and hitting them instead will happen. This is what it means to be too hot to handle. You're not just surviving attacks anymore. You're repelling them. You're reflecting them. You're turning them into blessings. Every curse becomes a lesson. Every attack becomes a testimony. Every enemy becomes a stepping stone. That's the formula. That's the blueprint. That's what transforms a victim into a victor. And you've mastered it. You've lived it. You've proven it works. Now you get to teach it to everyone who's ready to learn. This is what happens when chosen ones step fully into power. The atmosphere shifts, reality bends, impossible becomes inevitable, and everyone watching has to choose, either rise to your frequency or remove themselves from your presence. There's no middle ground anymore. You're not the same person you were in your recent past. You're not even the same person you were in your recent weeks. You evolved. You ascended, you became exactly who you were always meant to be, and now there's no stopping you, no dimming you, no delaying you, no defeating you, because you're chosen, you're anointed, you're protected, you're blessed, and you're about to show the world exactly what that means. Get ready, stay ready, because this isn't just a breakthrough, this is a launch pad, this is a turning point, this is the beginning of the best chapter of your entire life. The blocks are lifted, the sun is out, the weight is gone, and you're too hot for words. Welcome home, chosen one. Welcome to your power. Welcome to your purpose. Welcome to everything you've been asking for. It's here, you're here, and nothing can stop what God started in your life. Amen.